As many of us are now aware, as far as the Dallas Charter has been in requiring background checks of priests and lay people who work with youth and establishing review boards, bishops were not included. The case of Theodore McCarrick makes clear that there's no practice in any real way of fraternal correction among bishops as brothers. This has greatly contributed, perhaps even in part the genesis, of a culture within seminaries and among priestly fraternity of looking the other way in the face of misdeeds, of bad behavior, of inappropriate relationships. At times in my work in diocesan and pastoral ministry, I saw that sometimes rather than addressing an emerging concern, it would be ignored or worked around or sort of addressed until it became scandalous. I hope that what we have learned is that we simply can't allow a culture that is neither reflective of our best selves or unhealthy, but we allow it to continue and to fester. This refers to everything from the misuse of power and office to the ignoring of clericalism to turning a blind eye to bad behavior. But all of this raises real issues about what transparency looks like. What does being held accountable look like in the structure that is the church? And when is it best exercised? What kind of transparency best serves the communion that binds the body of Christ? In these questions, we discover the necessity of developing and nurturing an ecclesial consciousness, a phrase that some commentators of Vatican II like to speak of. And when they speak of it, this is what they're saying. In the broadest form, the nurturing of an ecclesial consciousness is a way of living that overcomes the split of faith and life. We do not settle for two natures of church life: a divine nature when we're at prayer and worship and talking within the family, so to speak, and a human nature when we're talking about the work of the church in the world. We don't think about a divine nature when thinking about prayer and the sacraments and charitable work, and a human nature when talking about human sexuality and the exercise of power and the use of money and the governance of an institution and the roles and the responsibilities of lay people. These questions that come from the effect of a sin and crisis will best be addressed by exploring them in the light of the questions of our deepest identity.